give us the take on this past season, even beyond all the craziness off the field. You win 6. There's some pause to, wow, what happens if Baylor runs the table in the Big 12 and wins it all? Do they get a college football playoff spot? Look at that non-conference schedule, but of course that was put to the side once they lose 6 consecutive games. Then they get matched up against what is always a strong Boise State team that won 10 games this year, and they just rolled. Katie Cannon had quite a night.
Yeah, Cannon just went off. 226 yards, 2 touchdowns. It was absolutely unexpected, to say the least. I mean, everyone knew he was capable of that kind of stuff, but like you said, Baylor dropped 6 of their last games after winning the first 6 games. Second team in FBS history to do that, and that's just remarkable. I'd say that's even more remarkable than the stuff that was going off the field, and that's kind of what spurred that big losing streak at the end. I mean, a lot of the players are starting to get really uncomfortable, and especially the coaches. You could tell that they were not in this season anymore, not with Bryles being gone. Jim Grobe did the best he could for how long he was there, but the train was about to collapse at some point, and those last 6 games were really, really tough. And having an easy schedule, I think it was Kansas and Iowa State to open up the Big 12 conference, that just gave a false sense of hope. And the last 6 games, when you also lose Seth Russell to injury again after losing him last year at the end of the season, that didn't help anything either. And now with all the coaching staff essentially gone, Baylor was left with 1 recruit for a while. Back in December, it looked like this would be the worst recruiting class, down with like the level of Kansas right now. But right now, once they announced Matt Rhule before Baylor was even in their bowl game, the recruits started finding trust in this new scheme that he's going to be bringing down and the new personnel that he's bringing with him. And now they're looking like they could be a top 50, top 45 kind of recruited class right now. A few things are still being shaken out.
Matt Rhule, what a coaching hire. This guy goes to Temple. He turns a 2-win program into a 10 and 11 win program over the last 2 years. Just an exceptional coach where it's difficult to recruit top athletes, and he's competed against top-level programs outside the American Conference. I kind of questioned his thought process in going to Baylor. I got to admit that to a certain extent. But from the Baylor aspect, I just think this is just an amazing hire.
It came out of left field, and once everyone saw that name come up, they're like, who the heck is that? But once they read more about him, they started feeling like this could be the right fit. I mean, look at what the Big 12 has become. It's become this fast-paced, air raid type offense spread. But Rhule comes in, and he's not known for that at all. He hasn't really done that at all, except with the exception that Temple was one of the fastest teams if you look at their ratio of yards per play. And that has to say something about what kind of offense he can run. And I think he's going to be more adapting to the personnel and the players that he has more than trying to shift them. Of course, he's going to bring in his own flair, especially on defense, but bringing in offensive coordinator from Oregon, Lubbock, that really says something and should give comfort to the Baylor fans right now.